Hi there, it's Carol Ann, Queen of Scraps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Cambridge, New Zealand. And today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely box, which you can use to gift cards. As usual, I try and make my instructions in metric. It's a bit of a point of difference because so many of the tutorials out there are in imperial measurements and they don't really work for our cards and envelopes, which are just a little bit taller and a little bit less narrower than American sizes. Okay, so I just made this this is a batch of Love It Chop It cards we made earlier in the year from it's retired now, it was not retired then, and I've just used some of the leftovers to make this box, and it'll make a lovely gift for someone. I've just put how many cards? I've only put 3 cards, but these are fairly thick. They have some dimension to them. And I've got 3 envelopes. You could definitely put, you could definitely put at least a couple in there. Probably, I'm saying 5. 5 cards, even fairly heavily decorated, will fit into this. So I thought this would be a great idea. It's a little add-on for our Love It Chop It class attendees. Means that they can easily put a box together after the class and have something that makes a lovely gift. So you can't make this out of one sheet of cardstock, and it doesn't come out of one sheet of 12 by 12 either, so I have had to work out the dimensions, and we do use 2 sheets of A4 cardstock, but there are some leftovers. So I might show you how to use up the leftovers in another video. Watch this space. So all the, there's my draft one. You can see I usually print it out and then I have to make a few amendments as I follow along. So I'm kind of double checking my own instructions. So hopefully it's going to be all working for you. When I'm doing construction, I love to use the scoreboard because we get lots of nice parallel lines, scoring lines, so the box will be square and will fit together nicely. So as I say, all the dimensions are in the PDF, which I will link below. So this one is 23 by 18, it's the bigger one, and in landscape I'm going to score it at 3 and at 20, and that's it. Yes. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score at 3 and I'm going to score it at 15. That's pretty simple. So I'll put that aside and we'll take the smaller piece, which is 25 by 14. Again, put it in landscape first, and we're going to score it at 3 and at 20, and this one has an extra score at 23. Right, and then turn it the other way, and we're going to score at 1 and 13. Okay, that's the scoring. Now I've got some trimming to do. So just take your snips, and we're going to start off, doesn't matter which one you start off with actually, but this one's the simplest one, and it's just, if you've made a box before, it's just a very simple trimming and taking. So I go on the inside, I go on the outside of the score line, and I take a little wedge out so it's going to sit together nicely. Okay, so that's all we do on this one, although we will need to burnish it in a moment. Oops, I'm just struggling with my shot. So okay, this is the taller, narrower piece, and again this has got a slightly different trimming, because we're just going to trim again on the inside of those score lines. So we're really cutting all the score line away, doing a little wedge out there. Again, up into the corner on both of those. Trim just down to there. See, maybe take a little bit more off there so we get rid of all that, all that score line. Now, I do put a little wedge on this flap. This is going to be the flap that tucks in here. And to get it to fit in easily, you want it to have a little wedge on it. But if you make it too much of a wedge, it won't stay closed. So you only want to take a little here, and it's just off this last little piece here. So just trim a tiny little bit like that. It's really got to be super tiny. Just enough to help ease it into position, but not so much that it's too tight. Now, what I need is my bone folder. Which I have many. Right, here we go. So we're just going to do all these, burnish all these score lines. That's quite standard. So yeah, I think if you like making lots of cards, even if you're out there sending them, which I do encourage you to do, release your cards into the wild to bring joy. That's one of my mottos. But you can also release them in bulk, I guess we're talking about, and you can do that by, when you make a batch, especially when they've got a theme, you know, if you're using the same DSP, they're going to end up with the same colourway. You can change out the sentiments and you can make a lovely gift. Okay, so I've done all the trimming and scoring. Now we're going to do the actual assembly. Right, so we now just have to apply the tape to put it together. You can either use, you need a strong glue, but you don't have to use tear and tape if you don't want to. I'm going to use it here because it's quick to show in a class, in a video. So on this narrower piece, we're just going to put it on the, actually this is on the outside of the flaps. And we're going to hold like that. So we put two pieces on there. I think I need to zoom out a teeny bit. Zoom out, let's just zoom out so you can see a little bit more. Right, so we'll put that aside, just like that. This one, all the tape actually is going on the inside. And we don't need any tape on the top flaps because we're not going to be, that's going to be so you can open and close it as you access your lovely cards, or your friend that you've given them to can access them. So almost done. As I say, oopsie, don't do that. That's probably not a good idea. No, I have to start again. I'm having a little trouble with my tape. Keeping it real yet again. A bit too much reality on this show. There we go. Probably need a slightly sharper edge. Then I've got there, but this will work. There we go. So you give these a good burnish down with your bone folder. This is just a little tip for working with the tear and tape. If it's really well adhered, it makes it much easier to peel the backing strip off, which will make your life super easier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these bits together. You can just peel off this tape. Oh, I'm going to make it look hard after I told you I'm making it easy. There we go. So what we're wanting to do is we're going to just line that up so it's just inside the score line. So fold doesn't impede the scoring. And we're actually going to be able to assemble this flat. Now, if you're wanting to make some of these in advance, you can make them up. This is another reason that using tear and tapers can be a good idea, because you've got the option of storing them flat and then assembling them when you're ready to give them away. So we can just line that up on there. So we've got the bits all stuck together, and that makes up for the fact we can't get it out of one piece of cardstock. How would you'd hardly know. Okay, so now we want to we want to glue the bottom shut, and I always like to tuck the one at the back. This is the back side. Oopsie, before we assemble this, little tip, I totally recommend you do this. And oh, I've made a mistake. How did I do that? That is so interesting. Okay, I've got a little mistake here, so I will just have to do a little bit more trimming. I should have trimmed this piece off. I don't know how I forgot to do that. Okay, more reality TV from Carol Ann. Great, let's just trim this a little bit off. You can, of course, do this on the trimmer if you do it before you get to this stage. And I do want to do a little pull tab, so yeah, I've left out a couple of little steps, so I'll make sure I put them in the right order in the instructions. So just to help you get access to your easy access to opening the box, using a little punch to punch out a little finger pull. So just line that up in the center part, little punch, and that's how that's going to close up there. But at this end, what we want to do is we're going to fold, so this is the front, and I want that fold to go in last. And I usually like to sandwich my flaps in between this piece and the final piece, so that you get a nice smooth inside. You don't have any projections that can catch the cards as they're going in. So all we're going to do here, just peel these off quick as a flash. Not that quick, because you know, if you want to use it, you know from my videos, I often my glue of choice for many things is Tombow green glue. It is a nice strong glue for this kind of work, because you don't want your box falling apart before all those cards have been used. Okay, take that bit off. Okay, so we're going to hold these bits in. Try and make sure everything's nice and square. Push it down. You can use your bone folder or a ruler if your bone folder is a shorter one. Actually use the rounded end, not the pointy end, to help stick that, and then this final bit's going to go on. Very good. Almost there. Okay. So because that makes the seam at the back, so it's nice smooth fold there. So that's your box, and you can decorate that however you wish. You can decorate it with, as I've done here, I've just used a panel of DSP. I've got a dimensions for that. You can decorate it with stamping to match. And sometimes I find when I've made a batch of cards, I've got a few elements that I stamped that I didn't use on the cards, and that's a good place to use them up. Okay, so this is going to be for, I had some little cards here from a previous, and you can see they've got a selection of nice little phrases. This is from a Love It Chop It earlier in the year. I can just pop those in there with some envelopes, decorate the front to match, and get a lovely gift. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, all the measurements will be below, and I hope you enjoyed making it. If you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thanks.